They are welcome to follow proceedings this afternoon. Honorable Nyikal, as you do this, also do the honors of welcoming students to us first in the public gallery.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity first to welcome the students who have come to visit this house. I think they have come at the very right moment when we are discussing a very important point on the education, certificate level, diploma level university, and I think it gives them the opportunity to understand how we operate and also to sharpen their ambition so that they realize that one of these days they may themselves be actually sitting here and making these decisions. That's an important experience for them. So we welcome all of them and wish them a good stay in the town and their trip back. Mr. Speaker, having said that, I want to discuss basic issues regarding this bill. In principle, I support the bill. But it actually raises a more fundamental issue than we are discussing here. What has surprised me is that the majority of us do not really understand or believe in the mandate of a university. The mandate of a university, in my mind, is not teaching. That's not mandate number one. It is not even training. That is, in my view, is not mandate number one. The mandate of university is actually to search new knowledge. Professors who have been at the university will tell you, you will never progress in a university if you do not do research. Publish or perish. So what universities are supposed to do is to get new knowledge. To do research and find out how the world works. Countries, Western worlds that are powerful, they're not powerful because of their politics and the way they do. The main thing is that their knowledge of how the world works, particularly in the world of science. It's not possible to go into another country and pick the president just by political power or just by force. You need extreme knowledge of how things happen. So universities are supposed to produce knowledge through research. The second one, in my view, is dissemination of that knowledge. And it is this dissemination where actually training comes in my view, as a third one. So, but you then want to train people at a level where they'll be able to participate in research that is key in survival in this world. We are not doing well in these parts of the world because we do not put emphasis in research and even finance it. Now, if university then see themselves as training institutions and start training at any level, at degree level, at diploma level, at certificate level, then eventually they have actually lost the biggest mandate that they have, the mandate of research and leading us on how the world works, new knowledge. So I support the bill to that extent, so that let them disseminate the knowledge at a level of degrees and postgraduate diploma and so on. In my view, I wouldn't even have accepted the postgraduate diploma and postgraduate certificate. I would have left it at degree level, because at that level, you are not just going to really, you may apply, but you ask why, not how. At technical level, when you are dealing with the level at vocational level, you are asking how. Mr. Speaker, just give me a little time. You know, we have had a situation, let me use engineering, where we have reached
a point. You still have 5.5 minutes. So
thank you. Mr. Speaker, we have a situation in this country where people sometimes do not know how to distinguish the difference between, say, an engineer and the diploma technologies. And sometimes you hear that people are saying that these universities are producing engineers that do not, when they go into the market, they do not perform. The question is, the industry is looking for technologies, the diploma guys, to do the things. what an engineer is supposed to do, Mr. Speaker, let's start with the science itself. The PhD guys and above, they are supposed to do research, get new ideas. And when they get those ideas, then you need, say, engineers who can say, if that is the idea, if you pass light through a glass, it bends the light. How can we use that to create products? It is at that time when you will need the technologies actually to now say, okay, if the engineer designed that, now I can use that, we can use that to produce a product. And when that product has been produced, then you now put it actually at the level of the factory where then it produces en masse. That is why people say, these engineers from Nairobi University are not good, we have retrained them. They are not retraining them, they're reducing them from engineers to technical people. Because they are looking for technical people, but they are picking engineers. So that is the distinction we must clear. And there should be a ratio. I'm going to use engineering, but it can be the same. When you have engineers, there should be a ratio of the number of engineers in the country and the number of technologists and technicians in the country. So the scientists have the ideas. The engineers use that idea to design a product. The technologists produce the product. The technicians then fix and repair those products. That is the order in which things are working. But when you start producing in large numbers, where you don't, engineers and the technicians are all mixed up, we have a problem. We have a problem. So to me, I think time is coming that now let university do its role. Mandate number one, research. Get us new knowledge. Why things are happening. Why people die with floods in Nairobi. This is something was noted in 1906 when the medical officer actually said that the way Nairobi is situated, it will have floods, it will have epidemics, and people will die. Nobody listened. Actually, that guy wanted Nairobi to be transferred up to Kikuyu. So that information, then the degree people then design, then the technology. So we must have that idea is when things will work. So in my view, I support it in that context so that the universities can do what their job is. Again, when you then have, when then you come to training technologies, there also must be a link, as I said, there must be a ratio, so that what is done at the university level finds application at the TVET level. These are now the people who are actually applying that knowledge for its everyday use. So that is why you want TVETs in every place, because that is everyday use. You do installations and repairs. Installations and repairs are not the work of engineers, if I use that. So we really must have that distinction. So the other thing then comes is then people are now looking to raise funds. Again, because we don't fund our institutions. So when people are looking to raise funds, they start actually taking people in, not because of their mandate, but because they want to raise funds. As you asked, we have a problem in this country, for example. I'll give you an example, where universities now have designed a course, say for clinical officers, where we have Bachelor of Science in medicine and surgery. Then that is a clinical officer. Then now you have Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, and that is a doctor. I've never understood how in the world you are going to distinguish those two people. Because the universities are not sticking to their roles. And therefore, they are now training courses. It then will bring another issue. If you see the amendment of Clause 5 and Clause 5A, it will bring an issue of then distinguishing which is which within the country and which is which when they come from outside the country. And the third issue we'll have is the issue of regulation. Now, we have a situation in this country where universities now, because of the Commission of University in Section 5, actually provides that universities can design the programs and train people without reference to regulatory authorities. So you find the engineering board is asking, these people, you train them, we didn't see the curriculum, we didn't see their training, can we register them?
We'll give you 1 minute more. And so,
Can we then register them as technologists or certificate people? Because we didn't link that with the regulatory authorities. So this bill, actually, I support it, but we will actually need to do a lot of amendments, because remember last week, the issue was coming here of the conflict between the universities and MTC training. You remember the speaker said we should go and find a solution. This is part of that. So I support, Mr. Speaker, that we should have a clear distinction, but I think we'll have to have a lot of amendments. It may give us opportunity to actually address many other issues of training and regulation, particularly in technical areas. With that, Mr. Speaker, I support.
I see the member for Parliament for Siaya, but this is the order I have here. That the member speaking next is member for Bureti, then member for Malava, then the one for Gichugu, then the one for Siaya, then the one for Turkana East, the one for Nyeri, then the one for Keses, in that order.